Welcome back, fellow shop rats. Today we are back on the Stitches Challenge. You're picking up where we left off last time. Say that 4 times real fast. Working on this hand-fabricated 4-speed hump and getting it fitted to the car with the custom modifications that we're going to do to it. Let's review from our last episode, and I'll see you right on the other side. I'm Mike, and this is My Car's Shop. I promise I will be back on the trunk floor soon. I just need the right headspace, and I've been trying to focus on getting this car done from the firewall back to the trunk floor with all the little details that need to be done. And this 4-speed hump is a detail that needs to be done. So the first thing I need to do is clean all the crap out of the car so we can spin it up. I want to take that 4-speed tail housing out of the car so that we can really work on it without that being in our way. Woohoo! Alrighty, dighty. So let's get that out of there. I think I need to just pull the cross member out of the car and just take it all down as a unit because I got the shifter on the tail housing and it won't slip through the cross member with the shifter on, and I don't feel like taking it off. We've got to take and get the 4-speed out and get it set up on a bench and start working on getting that 4-speed put back together again properly and check it all out. But I do have another one upstairs for this car, but I'm going to try to use this one and get it back together again rather than messing with that one. If there's issues with this one, then we'll look at the other one we have. So anyway, yeah. The other transmission that I have up there, it's the B and E body, both is the one I have slated for the golden mullet, so I could swap them if I need to. But anyway, enough talking. What do we got? 2 bolts. Let's take the bottom one out first. Okay, there's one. There's 2. Probably need a... I guess not. Okay, there we go. Good. Set it right down there. All right. Now that's out of our way. That gives us room to work up in here. We'll do it from the inside, of course, but let's go over there. Well, I think the place to start is to get some of this trimmed up where I want it. Then we'll hammer that dent out of there, get this trimmed up. Then we'll get this piece put in. We've got repair to do up here and some additional repair to do there. So let's get this. I'm going to leave a 1-inch flange. We'll start here. We'll get that done, get this hammered out, and we'll go from there. I'm not sure where I'm going to put you guys to film, but we'll figure it out. Okay, we'll see how that works. So I got to get my cutoff wheel, but first I'm going to get my marker, which I happen to have in my pocket, although I'm throwing it on the floor. And let's just kind of mark out where I want this. So I think about here, and then like this. Ish. Okay, that should work there. Same thing up here. Oops. Yeah, okay, so I think those are the only pieces we need to cut out, and then everything else is adding in. We may trim this one up here, but let's see where we end up when we get this done. All right, not too bad. I'm probably still going to do a cut and butt up here, but I wanted to get some nice straight edges because there was a lot of goobers from the torch and they used to cut that out. I got a little bit of metal to pull off here. I'm pretty happy with this. There may be a little transitional piece we need to make in here. We'll have to get the hump in there to make that decision. But I think the first piece I want to make is this one right here. So let's get a piece of metal and make it happen. Found a nice piece of scrap that should work, maybe. Yep, that one will work. That'll work. I think that'll work. Let's get her flattened out and see what we got. Yeah, there might be a little teeny nick there, but it's not worth it to me to... Well, if we bring this down like this, it should be fine. So let me dolly that flat, and then we'll start by figuring it out. Looks pretty good. All right, let me get a marker. So I thought I had one. And I'm going to mark this, and then we'll see where we end up making a decision on how much overlap we're going to do for our cutting, butting, and all that stuff. But yeah, not bad, not bad. And we can make a nice transition line across here. So that'll be our datum point right here. This line from here down to here. We may scoop that a little, I'm not sure, but yeah, probably not. I think that'll be all right. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's I'm gonna cut this off here, and then we'll bring this out and we'll see how much of a flange I want to make for my cut and butt. Plus we got a little bit of a detail to work in here where this rises up and down. All right, I really like that. I like that a lot. But I'm pretty thin right in here, but I still think it's going to work all right. I'm probably going to give myself about just a quarter to an eighth, or a quarter to a half an inch line around here. We'll cut this off. Then we'll have to put some detail in here, and then we can start tacking it in to do our cut and butt after we get this piece of metal and this cleaned up. All right, here's what we got. Let's just throw our vice grips. That'll be fine. So we're lining up on our edge. We're lining up our line like so. I got to get the other vice grips that I threw on the floor. And again, same thing. So now I need to work this detail in here where we have this comes down, comes up, and then down again. So yeah, we're going to have to do a little bit of hammer and dollying to make that work. A little Dollywood. I got to find my pen. The marker-eating monster must be in the shop today. So that's where our down line is. That's where our up line is. That's where our up line is, and our down line, basically there. And I think that's going to probably carry up like so. Well, no, it can't, because when we come up in here, yeah, I've got to make it contour that, but I also have to be careful because I need it to be flat from here to here where I'm making that four-speed hump go down. I don't want to have to mess with that. So yeah, that shouldn't be a big deal. It'll fade out up into here. Do I need to do some cutting in there? Probably not. I think the best way to do this is just literally with a hammer. So I can stretch the metal where I want it and just little by little make it fit in here. I think we'll just use our UTMS. For those that don't know what that is, it's our universal tool mounting system. We put our buffer in here. We put our bead roller in here. We put our shrinker stretcher in here. I think this is the best way to do it. That will give me the ability to just start bending the metal the way I want. Let's see, that's right. Let's go see how that fits against the contour. I'll be right back. All right, that edge is a little sharp, but otherwise it's pretty good. Simple way to fix that. A little piece of round stock, just go in here. All right, let's go swap. A little stiff there yet. Well, that's the one downside of this thing. That's better. All right, let's go see what she looks like. All right, so now we just got to go the other way with it, do the same thing. Nope. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Shoot. There we go. Not too bad. My edge could be a little more. Probably should have done it on that stiff piece first, but see how that is. All right, that's looking pretty good. A little rough, but yeah, I've got to get the burrs off of this. If you see me start wearing gloves, it's because I'm shredding my hands. So yeah, I usually do a better job of making sure the burrs weren't there, but I got ahead of myself and I cut myself in two places. I don't like wearing gloves when it comes to doing metal work because I can't feel what I'm doing. Well, this time I really felt it. So I'm going to get bandaged up a little bit here, and then we'll put the bone bags on to keep the blood and the bones inside a bag, and we'll move from there. There we go, just like new. Woohoo! Make that one bend a little more. There we go. So I literally am going to pull this out, get all the burrs off so I don't shred my fingers anymore. Yeah, I normally know better than that. I know to take all those sharp edges and little burrs off. I just got ahead of myself because I was so into trying to make this fit. So I need to get it all grounded up, and then we'll go from there. I like that. I like it a lot. So I can go through and start doing my tack welds, get this kind of in place so that we can get ready to do our cut and butt. I have one more pair of these somewhere. I thought they were clipped to the car someplace. I can't find them. I would really prefer to have a set over here. So I'm going to spend a little time digging and finding that. It's got to be here. I'm almost positive it's clipped on holding a panel on the trunk or something. So we'll find it. I hope. Yep, that's where they were. I just didn't see them. Okay. You would think for as much fabricating as I do, I would have more of these, but I don't. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. It pulls it right in now. That's going to fit nicely. Cutting and butting on an angle like this is a bit of a challenge, but we're going to do it, and it's going to look really nice when we do it here. So we'll have to do a little massaging. But all right, we're ready to get our welder now and just start going around. I want to go on the other side and see what it looks like. So let's go over there real quick. Yeah, looks good. It's going to look real good. All right, the only way we're going to do it is to do it. So let's just do it. All right, we're all set up. I checked a quick tack weld here. Looks like it's going to work good. So I'm going to go ahead and get my tack welds around that, and then I'll get you guys back. My camera's dying, so I need to charge for a while. It's just going to be me doing spot welds here for about 10 or 15 minutes, and that should give me enough energy to get back and show you the cut and butt part of this, which is what's really important. And there we go. So we got a cut and butt done from here down to in this area here. Got a little bit of work to do in there yet. We'll get that in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and continue on over here. Then we'll work on massaging this in. Got a lot of work to do yet. I did want to mention that one of the keys to this is when you're doing the cut and butt, always go back to where you cut the weld and make that your first point of weld, because you've got a lot more material there to work with, and that gives you a place to work from. If I go in here and try to weld that, what's going to end up happening is that material there will likely burn away, because remember, we're cutting in at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, and so the material is very thin. So I always like to go back to where I cut the weld and start there first. So anyway, just a little trick that I've learned over the years doing this. Yeah, I got a little carried away with my cut here. We'll fix that. But I'm going to go back and cut here now. Not that. Cut this here down, and we'll go from there. So I'll make a cut this way, and I'll make a cut this way and meet down here. Alrighty, so the strips down here, everything is still here, right? So that's the next step. Now that we've got it tacked in, we want to go through and peel off our strips on the back side, like so, and get those out of the way. So these are probably going to have to get a tool to get those out of there. So let me grab that real quick and we'll peel those out. Well, that one's almost coming. Yeah, let me get a tool for that one. There we go. So I got this down in there. What I had to do was hammer and dolly that. I put a dolly on the backside and I just hammered it around. So yeah, I've got some issues here that I don't have any tissues. I got a little carried away with my cutting wheel, but we'll be able to fill that in, no problem. I'm going to get everything else done first. Then we got to do some hammer and dolly work to get this sorted out, because we're dealing with this patch right on the edge, and that makes it a challenge. I'm still fighting my camera battery, so I'll be back in a while. All right, sucked in a little here. I was getting pretty aggressive with it, but it's a floor pan, so I wasn't too worried. But it's still sheet metal. You can't run a bead, you know, so it's just spot welding things in. So before I grind here, I want to hammer and dolly that flat and get it a little bit better so that we're not grinding into the metal around here as we're trying to grill down our welds. Yeah, grind down our welds. Let's go around the other side and see how crappy it looks. Looks a little bit like a cactus with all my wire. I see a few holes from here. If I want to come back on this side and weld it, I can. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. I'm not really that concerned about what it looks like from this side, honestly. It's going to be covered with undercoating or lizard skin or something, and we'll go through and seam seal like we have some of the rest of this anyway. I'm more doing the cut and butt to demonstrate to you guys how it is. So if I was going to do a really thorough job on this, I would go through and grind this down on this side, which I probably will, and weld it from this side also to make it real pretty. But I'm not wasting that amount of time on something that doesn't need this kind of detail. If this was a high dollar car that we were welding a quarter panel in and wanted it flawless inside and out, then we would go ahead and do all that work. But I'll touch it up a little bit, but I'm not going to get crazy with it. Looks pretty good. I got some flaws up in here. It's sucked down in there. I'm not sure why. I'm not going to mess with it. It's a floor pan. It's fine. The main thing is that we got our edge along in here now where our hump has got to go. So next stop, we're going to go ahead and put this in. I doubt I'm going to do this as a cut and butt. I think I'm just going to throw it in there, weld it in, and call it good. Just in the interest of time here, this took way longer than I thought it should, but that's the way it goes. Yeah, if I was doing an external panel, I would be hammering this up out of there and working on that more, but it's fine. But really pleased with the way it came out in here and in here. You know, that looks pretty good. So not too shabby for what it is. just wanted to show the technique again. I know I didn't demonstrate the steps because of my camera batteries giving me fits, but you get the idea. You cut a piece bigger, you tack it on, you cut it at a 45-degree angle, you make the metal flat, you go back and you weld on your tack welds again so the metal's flat. Once that's done, you go on the backside, you peel off your strips, and then you come back and you weld it solid and grind it down. So that's the whole process. There's the next one we're going to do. I got to do a little teeny bit of bending there, but probably more than anything, it's just got to be clamped. I got to drill 2 holes so I can weld that to this. But overall, it looks pretty good. So a little bit of trimming, you know, that's not perfect, but good enough. You know, I'll trim it up before I put it in there. Obviously, I want to get the holes drilled and get a little curvature bend in that to kind of make it match the contours a little bit, and we'll go from there. There we go. I got my little patch made up. I want to get it ground up, get it cleaned up, get it painted on the backside, and get it ready to put in. Woohoo! All right, that one's ready to go in. Like I said, I'm not doing a cut and butt on this. I'm just welding it in there. Good enough. It'll do the job. So I'm going to put a pair of clampers in here to squeeze that, and we'll go from there. So we'll be back. There we go. So that's done. Now, I got to pull this dent out right in here. So analyzing this dent, looks like it basically came in right in this area. So we'll start down low and then we'll work our way up because I need that to be flat across the top up there. So I'm going to bang that out of there real quick. And I'm still fighting this stupid battery, but you've seen me do enough of this work, so I'm not that worried about it. But we'll you know, we've analyzed it. We know kind of where it came from. And then we'll just reverse the damage and it should pull out pretty easily. So we'll camera dolly that out. We'll be right back. And I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It's pretty straight along there now. This dent is mostly gone. I wasn't looking to get it perfect. I was just looking to get it done. So I think the next thing I want to do is grab our console and throw it back in there, or our hump, I should say, and see kind of how it's fitting. That fits really nice. Oh, I'm struggling because now I'm running out of time. Oh crap! Yeah, I gotta go. I can't continue on today. I just remembered something I forgot that I have to do. So I will be back on this one. On the next one, I thought this was going to be 2 episodes, but this took a lot longer than I expected. But I'm really thrilled with the way this is looking. Yeah, it did suck down just a little here, but we will take care of that. No problem. Easy peasy, cheesy squeezy when we put all that together. So this metal is pretty thin in here, and I must have just got a little too much heat in there. I didn't think I did, but you know, it is what it is, and that's what it is. Yeah, I had no idea it was getting this late. I get lost doing this stuff, and it's awesome, but I do have to go. So sorry, guys, I got to cut it short today. We'll be back again on this real soon. We'll be getting that hopefully finished up in the next one. I said that last time, but things always take longer. It wouldn't have taken as long had I not done the cut and butt, but I wanted to just kind of show you that again. It's been a while. Turned out really nice. I'm really happy with that. So like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. The more the channel grows, the more I can do. The more I can do, the more the channel will grow. You know, it's kind of that symbiotic thing. I really appreciate every one of you who take the time to watch this stuff, and we will catch you on the next one. Rawr!